afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is our final demonstration for the day. We hope that you've enjoyed your day. I will ask you right at the end how it all went. But our last demonstration today, I'd very much like to introduce Eadie Manson. He's got an array of things that he's going to cook for us today. So please, warm welcome to Eadie. Thank you.
Okay. Anita said an array of things. I'm doing 3 dishes today. I'm going to do paprika spiced halloumi on a ciabatta with cherry tomato salsa and a yogurt dressing. Honey and garlic marinated chicken leg on a curried couscous. I'm going to make my own curry dressing. Not sauce, dressing. Okay? It doesn't go in chips. And we're going to do a bit of seabass on a spicy green salad. If anybody's got any questions at any time, please feel free to ask. I teach full-time at a college, so I love to show people how to cook. So today my aim was coming up with the dishes. There's no point me coming up here and showing you a foam, something, a nice fondant or something like that. I want to show you something that you can go away tonight and make, okay, or the next couple of weeks. That's what I've designed that in base, okay? It's not because I'm just crap. I can do a bit of cooking as well, okay? So I teach at a college full-time over in the East Coast, so I'll say Ken quite a lot, and I'll also be really tight. So if you see me picking up a spoon and putting it in my pocket, it's because I'm from Fife, right? So like I say, any questions, we'll go through it all. We'll say get yourself organised, get all your equipment, get all your ingredients, and give yourself the best possible chance of cooking, okay? I know it's easy to throw things together and stuff like that. See if you get yourself organised, it'll be less stress-free, and that's the problem that a lot of people get. They try to make it do too much, they're not organised. It's like anything. Get yourself set and go for it, okay?
Is that something to do with the peas?
What's the
preparation? If you don't do preparation, it's not very good.
Yeah, fail to prepare to fail, fail to prepare.
An adult version of that.
Yeah, so we're absolutely. It's just like anything in life.
You've got to prep.
Yeah, you want to do your prep. You want to get yourself sorted. I've also got a load of disposable dishes because I don't want Christine being here too late washing all my pots and pans. Okay, so we're going to crack on. Like I say, I'm doing the 3 dishes intermittently. Okay, that's all at the same time. Okay. I've never been to Kilmalcolm before. I'm not judging anybody.
Oh, they're educated here.
Okay. Right. So we're going to crack on. Like I say, the recipes are in the pack. So if you're struggling with anything, I'll just glaze over that. I'll try and go over all the method and stuff like that as we're going. I'll try and keep you about 45 minutes an hour. I'll do the 3 dishes. You can have a wee taste, and we'll take it from there. Okay. So the first job is we're going to marinate the chicken legs. Okay? Now what we're doing here, the whole premise of this, is what I've got the chicken legs, and we'll see that there, and we've taken the bone out of them, okay? Now the thing about the chicken legs there's a lot more flavour in them, and there's a lot more give in them, I like to say. Chicken breast is great, but see when it goes tough, it's gone, right? With the chicken legs here, you can cook this a bit slower, you can take a bit more time over it. It's also cheaper from Kirkcaldy, thank you. Okay, so we take it from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get I've got some honey and lemon juice and a little bit of garlic. Now I've got one of these great microplanes here. Whenever you're doing anything, you can either crush it, you can chop these things down, they're really good, okay? So all I'm just going to do is going to grate the garlic into a wee dish. Okay, brilliant piece of kit. Okay, so break the garlic down. As you're breaking it down, it's like anything. If you chop it down smaller, you cook it quicker and you get the flavour out of it more. When it's garlic, chili, any sort of thing, if you cut it down, it's less harsh. It breaks down a little bit easier as well. So you've got the lemon juice and the honey. I've got them all together. Okay, give them a wee mix up, a little bit of salt. It's fancy. I've got a wee salt dish in there. Right, so we give it a wee mix up, and what we're going to do is I'm going to get a little bowl, put the chicken legs in. I'm trying not to touch it as much as possible for cross-contamination. Okay, and we're just putting that in there like that. Now again, ideally as long as you want. Okay, we're going to let it marinate for about 10 minutes a day. Overnight, brilliant. This dish here is great for cooking. Brilliant on the barbecue, brilliant on the thing like that. Wee tip about barbecues. See what I do for barbecues? I cook everything first in the oven, then I put it on the barbecue for the live 5-10 minutes. That way you're going to make sure everything's cooked, but you're still getting the barbecue flavour. That one's for free, ladies and gentlemen. My next tip is 50p a go, right? All right, so
I was demonstrating a food saver this morning. And it's vacuum and it takes the air out of the plastic bags. But one of the features was that the machine came with a marinade. And all it did was, because you put the chicken into it, you take the air out of it, 10 minutes, undo the seal and put the air back in, turn it all around, take the air out of it again. So it's 20 minutes. And it's exactly the same as marinating overnight. So it's a food saver. So if you're into a lot of marinating and that sort of thing, then please do go down. I mean, the whole idea of it is that food saver, and it takes all the air out of the bag. So something lasts 5 times longer. So you don't have to keep throwing food away. But it's just when you said about marinating.
Well, the thing is, what a lot of people forget is that marinating helps break down all the enzymes in the meat, and it gives it the flavour. The longer you marinate it, when it gets cooked, the softer it's going to be. So if you let a chicken breast marinate overnight, it's going to be a lot more tender when you cook it the next day. Okay, I'm going to marinate the halloumi now. Now, I've got a little bit of smoked paprika going in there, a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to put a little bit of lime zest and a little bit of lime juice in there.
They're fantastic, those microphones, aren't
They're great. I've got one in my box through there, but we're using the good ones here. Try and sell more stuff. Okay?
The difference with the microplane is that, I don't know whether you know, that if you look at a normal grater, it actually either goes left-handed or right-handed. I don't know, did anybody know that? Probably left-handed people would know that. Microplane is straight up and down, and it is very, very sharp. If you're ever going to buy a grater, do have a look at microplane. They're excellent. And there's 2 different sizes. There's one for like lemon zest, and then there's a normal one. So.
Okay. We've got the paprika. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. I used to do a show called The Hour, and I used to get slagged because I use smoked paprika all the time. It's my favourite ingredient. Okay, I use it all the time. For this, halloumi, it's a really hard, dense cheese. The good thing is, what we're going to do later is I'm going to sear it off and cook it. Okay? It'll not melt. It's got a really high melting point, and it takes on that flavour so we can marinate, get a real good marinade going into it. Okay? So I've got the paprika, lime zest, a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to slice this probably in about...
Is that similar to feta cheese?
It is similar to feta cheese, but this has got a different property in it. The fact that you can cook this with the feta cheese, you kind of want to use it raw and crumble it up, and you can roast it slightly, but this has got an even higher melting point.
So this isn't goat's cheese either?
No.
Right.
So take the halloumi, slice it, put it into the marinade, just like that. Okay, give it a wee mix round, and again, the longer that sits, the better. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just chuck these under here. I'll sit them next to my wee beer I've got down here. Okay. Right, so we've got them both marinated, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a little bit of my garnish for my seabass dish. I'm going to do some spring onion and red chilli. I'm going to finely slice it. And I'm going to put it in some cold water, and it's going to curl up a little bit, okay? So, take spring onion, and you want to finely slice it. Now, a lot of folks say to me, Eadie, I can't do that. Eadie, shut up. That's what a lot of folk will say to me as well. I just say it's all about practice, okay? See all these folk that are, what can I get? See women, straighten your hair, right? You ever tried to do that? I've tried it once and I burnt my ear, right? But it's that hot and you're like that. And it's like kids with their Xboxes and stuff like that, them going like that, going mental. This is just practice. I've just had a knife in my hand every day for the last 11 years since I started cooking. That's all it is practice. Okay? Sorry, I went a wee bit off course.
It concerns me that you've actually shared with us that you've had
Straighten my hair.
straighteners, yeah.
Oh.
I don't think we should.
Oh, I never
ask
bought
why.
them. I never bought them.
No.
I'm thinking, God, I got a shot at somebody else's.
It's very worrying, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, my hair was a bit longer at the time and less grey. Okay. So we're finally shredding this up. And what will happen there is we'll just put that into the water. Okay? It's just a little fancy thing, but again, it's taking it the wee extra mile. If you've got people around, you want to impress them, etc., etc. Okay? Okay, so we're going to let them curl up in there. I'm going to make my curry dressing now. Now, my curry dressing is going with my chicken leg. I've got all my...
I suppose I've got to ask, what's the difference? Because he did say it at the beginning, didn't it? Not paste. What's the difference between a curry dressing and curry sauce?
Well, this is made with... this is an emulsion sauce. So this is a dressing. This is made with blending oil into a flavouring and adding it in. So you're effectively thinking like a mayonnaise. Curry sauce is what you get at the Chinese, and it's probably got more colourings in it than you can think of, okay? This is really good. In here, I've got my ginger, garlic, I've just microplaned that down, my Dijon mustard, a little bit of bottled lemon juice, and a little addition of my harissa paste, okay? Now,
what's the paste?
Harissa paste.
Okay.
It's basically like it's got full of red peppers and garlic. It's really nice. Available in all the supermarkets. It's really, really tasty. So what I'm going to do, if I can work this, there we go. I'm going to get all the stuff in there. Now, what I found, ladies and gentlemen, is I use bottled lemon juice, okay? When I've made this recipe before with fresh lemon juice, and the lemons is just it's too much of a kick. The lemon juice is a little bit more subtle from the bottle, so it's not as harsh. Okay, so we put that all in there. Give it a wee blend up. I've got my vegetable oil and olive oil, and I'm going to gradually add that in. Right, let that mix for a wee second. Okay. Now what you're getting in there, it's going to take me about 30 minutes to lift that off there, so I'll just explain to you. It's quite thick at the moment, okay? So I'm going to add a wee bit more olive oil, and the measurements in there are pretty much bang on. 1/3 of a cup and 1/3 of a cup. If anybody's not sure what a cup is, okay, it's American style measurement. What I use, because I'm from Kirkcaldy, is I just got an old mug and just use that, and as long as I use it for everything, it's all going to work out the same, as long as I don't differentiate between cups.
We haven't got the same size mug, have we?
So, what you can take away from today is the 3 lovely dishes, the fact that I'm tight, okay? So just give that a wee blend. Okay, beautiful bit of kit this. Absolutely smashing. Okay.
Can I smell that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So, it's thickened up a little bit, but it's got a great flavour as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out, pour this in a wee dish. Okay. Right, everybody see that? Okay. Beautiful bit of flavour and body to it. We're going to bind some of that through the couscous, and we're going to dress some of that round the plate later on. Okay? Right, next job, I'm going to cook the chicken. Now, what I would normally do, if I had an oven, I would seal it off, fire it in the oven for 25 minutes or so. What I am going to do, though, is I'm just going to cook it gently in the pan, okay, till it's cooked. So,
What aged children do you?
people that I teach, it can range from 13, 14-year-old school kids to full-time college students to, and that range can be anything from 16 up to 60.
Oh, right.
And also, I do a bit of I've got my own business that I've set up that I do a bit of private cooking in people's houses and lessons and stuff like that. Eadie'sKitchen.com if you ever want to look at it. Okay. Right, a little bit of oil. So what we're going to do, I've got this on the lowest heat and I'm just going to gently let that cook away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in flesh side down, okay? That's the whole leg, okay? So flesh side down, I'm going to gently cook that that'll probably take me about 15, 20 minutes, I would imagine. And at the end, I'm going to turn it over and turn it up to render down the fat.
Why do you turn it that way?
Because I'm cooking it in the pan, because of the honey and the lemon juice and the garlic.
It tastes better.
Yeah, and if I want to cook it skin side down for longer, it's more likely to over caramelize because you've got the extra sugar and the extra lemon juice in there in the marinade. Okay, just need to grab something to give my hands a wee wipe. Okay, so we've got the chicken in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on the couscous that I'm serving with that chicken.
I was working somewhere the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody asked me for a couscous pan.
A couscous
and I'd
pan?
never heard of one.
I've never heard of one either.
No.
A steamer. You can
know.
steam couscous, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you right now how to do it. Okay, so in there I've got some water, chicken stock. I'm going to add some butter in. The thing about couscous is it's such a beautifully versatile product, but at the moment it's steamed and dried semolina. Okay, there's absolutely no flavour in that whatsoever. So you've got to impart all the flavour in that you want. So in my bowl, I've got the couscous and I've got the raisins. I never weigh out couscous. Never weigh it out. All I do is put the couscous in the bowl and I pour over enough stock or water or flavour that's going to cover it by about 2 centimetres. And that will be enough. Okay? So that's on there boiling. So we've got the chicken stock, butter, water. We've got some raisins in there. Any sort of dried fruits are great. Apricots, cranberries. Put them in at the start and the water will go over there and they'll plump them up and they'll take on that flavour. Is everybody okay so far? Good. So that's boiling away.
Tidies up after himself an awful lot.
Aye.
Not like a normal chef that everything's all over the place. You're going to get an easy one on this one, aren't you?
Okay. So the chicken there, see that there? It's just ticking over. Right? The bubbles all went down because I've tipped it up, but it's just ticking over. Okay? Like you say, if you had it in the oven, you could sear it off, finish it in the oven, or you could go the other way, put it straight in the oven, cook it for 20 minutes, and then cook it in the skin side down in a pan and finish it off, or straight in the barbecue, whatever you want to do. Couscous, great, these induction hobs, absolutely fantastic, right? What a lot of people do that's wrong is they get chefs and they start shaking the pan, right? As soon as you lift the pot off, it takes the heat off it, okay? And it also scratches the thing. So Big Ainsley would be crap on this. He'd be giving it all that. Okay? Okay, so I'm just giving this a wee stir to make sure all the butter stock is melted in together. I'll give it just another 30-second blast. But these are brilliant for these demonstrations because they're dead safe. Okay, so my next job that I'm going to do is I'm going to make my cherry tomato salsa.
It's funny actually with you saying about induction hobs because all the chefs obviously have all been used to using gas, but because you're on the teaching side, you obviously use these the same as I do
Yeah.
on the demonstration side. You
Well,
know,
I've
we
got
use this, whereas chefs in kitchens, they're so used to using just gas.
Yeah, they don't tend to use it as much. Whereas, like, I've got one of these myself,
Yeah.
a slightly smaller one. So if I'm doing like a cookery lesson in somebody's house, or where'd I put that cling film? Or if I'm doing a bit of catering, I sometimes just take one of them because I never know how much cooker space I'm going to have when I'm doing it. Okay. Oh, I know where it is. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope they start. Okay, so pour off enough liquid, and all we're going to do now is we're going to steam it. A little bit of cling film over it. Allow that to sit. About 5-10 minutes. I'll give it a wee mix about to break up the raisins. That's good to go. Okay. So we're going to make the tomato salsa now. I love using all these wee dishes just to keep you right, and it saves you so much time in the sink. I know it's a bit wasteful chucking it away and stuff like that. Salsa, we're going to take the cherry tomatoes and we're going to cut them into quarters. Okay? We don't want to cut them up too small because they'll break down, but we just want to cut them up enough so they'll impart on the flavor. Okay? So they're just chopping them down.
When you do your cookery school, do you do knife skills?
Yeah, we do like knife drills in the first week, but it's amazing. It's a lot to do with the government at the moment. Actually, when I was at college 12 years ago, we were in 4.5 days a week, and now the kids are only in like 3 days a week, and it's mandatory that they like 3 of the hours are doing their IT and their communications and stuff like that. So they're not really wanting to work, and it's a bit unfortunate. It's an industry where if you put into it, you can get loads out. Like I've been really lucky what I've been able to do, and I've been able to see a few countries and work, and I've done stuff for the Scotland culinary team and things like that in the past. That's olive oil going in there, a little bit of cayenne. But that's just because I've grafted.
Yes.
And you know yourself, you get in what you put out, and it's long hours, and it's...
Yeah.
So we're going to take the spring onions, cut them in half. I'm going to finely shred them up. See if turn like that, you get a better shot of it. Just finely slice it down. Again, it'll get the flavour out of it. It'll distribute it a bit evenly. Spring onions are really nice, but if you get a big bit of one, it's a bit harsh and it'll overkill everything else. Okay, and that's going in there. And this can be the sort of thing where whatever you want can go into this salsa. You've just got to experiment and have a go. Like I say, we've got loads of recipes here. Chefs do it all the same. They take a recipe, they tweak it about, they give it their own flavour, and that's it. So if you went home tonight and you said, I'm going to make Eadie Manson's honey roasted chicken leg with curried couscous, you might think to yourself, I'm not going to put raisins in it. I'm going to put apricots. I'm going to put some jar of roasted peppers through it. Then it turns into your couscous dish. It's got nothing to do with me. Okay? You might...
I think somebody told me once to actually write a new recipe and to get it to print, you have to have changed 3 different things from the original recipe.
Or for it to be classed as your own recipe.
For it to be classed as your recipe to actually go to print with. So.
Well, it's absolutely right. We like what I do when I'm researching recipes and stuff like that. We'll come up with basic flavour concepts and just tweak it.
Just work with them.
Yeah, just work with them. Know what works. Know the classics. Okay, so I've put a little bit of lime zest in here, about half the lime. And then I'm going to put the juice in there. Okay, give it a roll, make it easier to juice. Put that. The good thing is, I always do as well, see when you're doing anything, see if you've chopped the chili, see if you do your lemon or your orange, that it takes away the chili heat, and especially garlic and things like that. Okay, little bit of salt and pepper in there. That's smashing that. What happens when you run out the battery? Do you have to put another one in? I mean buying batteries. I don't know if I want to spend money on batteries. Okay, right. There's the salsa. So that's made. So that goes down there. That's sitting fine. Okay. Next job. I'm onto my yogurt dressing. So I'm ticking over nicely here. I'm doing a lot of things. You'll notice here, I'm doing a lot of things that have got similar flavors in them. Okay. And again, I wanted to just do things that were the ingredients that people were accessible to and that people liked. So I've got quite a lot lime, chili. I like a lot of that fusion cooking and stuff like that. Like one of the people that I really like reading books about or watching his shows, a guy called Bill Granger. Don't know if the Australian guy. I think his food's really good. And it's the sort of things where as a chef you can say, it's great for people to eat, but you can tweak it up and make it really high class as well. So we've got the cayenne. Now we've got the easy yogurt that was made from downstairs earlier. Beautiful bit of kit. And really easy to make. Okay? Make up the sachets. It keeps for 14 days in the fridge.
It's lovely and fresh as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Nice flavour to it. It lends itself really well to what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to put some yogurt in there. And this is going to go with the salsa. Okay. Going to put a bit of lemon juice in there. Lime juice, sorry. You'll get the next tip for free. Okay. And I've got some coriander. Roll it into a ball. Finally chop it. And that goes in there. And again, a little bit of salt and pepper. Keep seasoning as you go, as you're cooking. It builds up the levels of flavour and it brings out the flavour. Okay? Remember, salt is an abrasive. It's designed to bring the flavours out of things. Okay? So, give your wee yogurt dressing a wee mix. And again, it's nice and light. It's kind of like a raita. Or certainly, it's not got the mint in there, but it's a different version. And that's going to go with the halloumi and the ciabatta. So you've got the spicy salsa, a little bit of that to cool it down. So the chicken's ticking over. Next one I'm going to crack on with now is the spicy salad. Okay? So I've got a load of ingredients here to make it. Got some rocket, red onion, munch 2, carrots. So they're all going to be cut down nice and fine. Again, utilising knife skills to give me the product that I want. What we're going to do, coriander leaves, I'm just putting them in whole. Okay? Just pick them, put them in whole into the salad. Again, different textures and concepts. Into nice fine strips. What's that? Oh, that's smashing.
Maybe there's
That's great. Thanks, Anita. Okay, so shredding the munch 2. While you're away, Anita, we finished off the dressing, and I'm starting on a spicy salad.
Okay.
And 3 folk left. Don't know why. It was maybe something you
Do
do
you
with
know, I've
you
got
not being
something
here.
in my eyes. For some reason.
Okay. Right. Red onion. I've peeled that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to nick off the edge. Okay. And I'm going to cut this into nice, fine, like onion rings. Okay. Again, nothing's getting cooked in this salad. The only part of the dish that's getting cooked, the only thing that's getting used to cook it is me making a little dressing. Okay. So finally slice that up. And again, it's a different textures, it's colours, it's visual, it's flavours. Beautiful. Now, just to clear up another myth, I got all this food out of Tesco, right? Unlike Anthony, I paid for it all, okay? I can joke about that because I've met him a few times, right? So I'm getting away with that. I didn't feel too bad about that, right? Okay, carrot. Just peeled it, and I'm cutting thin strips. Put the strips together, and this is what we call, in a kitchen terms, a julienne. And again, nice and fine, okay? It's all about practice and the technique. Okay, if you notice, the knife never leaves the board. It's rocking. Okay? You can buy all the, again, if you don't feel confident, buy all the, you've got all the gadgets downstairs that can do this chopping for you. Okay? Just finely shred it.
You go against your middle finger, don't
Yeah.
you?
Just keep it tucked in.
Different chefs just do different things, don't they? Some are on that one, some are on the middle.
Aye. We're all different.
Yeah.
We're all widos and we're all different. Okay, rocket. Just got some rocket leaves going in there, just to give it, bulk it out, a little bit of salad. Okay, and my lime, I'm going to make up my lime dressing. Whenever you're making a dressing, 1 part acid to 3 parts oil, okay? So, put my lime juice in, and I'm going to put that together at the last minute. I'm not going to pour it over just now, because it'll just start to wilt the vegetables down too much. Okay, and if I just lift that up, you can see I've got all the nice colours, peppery for the rocket, you've got sharpness from the red onion, you've got the nice carrot flavour. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over my chicken now. And I'm just going, and I can feel there that it's starting to get cooked. It's cooked about halfway, so what I'm going to do, turn up the heat, I'm going to let the skin render down now. Okay. So, we're getting there. Salad there. Yogurt dressing. The couscous, can you see how it's all swollen up? That's the chicken turned over. I've got my spring onion and chili curls that are just curling up for me just now. I've made my spicy salad. I've got my lime dressing ready to go. Okay. So what I think I should do is I think I should start on one of my dishes and get it finished. Okay, so I'm going to get a saute pan. I'm going to do my halloumi. Okay, and the last wee bit that I've got to get ready for this is a bit of ciabatta. Okay, so cut it in half, and all I want to do half again. Okay, and I've got some garlic, just a bit like a bruschetta. I'm going to cut in half, and I'm going to rub it across the garlic. I just want a faint edge of it, okay? I don't want too much. I've got my little bit of oil here. It's going to help me cook that. Okay. Oh, in fact, got that wrong. I'm going to put it on the bread. Okay. So I'm going to toast that one off there. And also, at the same time, I'm going to put the halloumi in as well. Okay. This would be the sort of thing that, see if you've got a char grill, look really good doing that on a char grill as well. What I'll do is I'll make sure I get both the bits cooked off so everybody can have a wee try. Okay? What I'll do is I'll plate them up and we can all try them at the end. Right, so that's in there toasting. I'm just going to lift them over. We'll get a wee plate. Get my salsa. And my yogurt dressing I've got here. Okay. And I'll use different tongs there. And the good thing is, if you wanted to or not, you could put, when you're cooking the ciabatta in beside the halloumi, it's going to take on some of the paprika and lime in the same pan. Or you can cook it separately as well. But we just want to cook it together today. So we're just turning it over, giving it a good sear. Just get that. Okay. That's just going to be about a minute or so. Chicken's cooking nicely. We're just leaving that there like that. Once I get the loaf out, I'll put the other bits of halloumi in as well. Okay. Now, has anybody tried halloumi before? Few years. Okay. Better be good then. So, just give it another wee second. Okay. We put a bit of ciabatta in there like that. Seared halloumi. Just going. We'll do 2 bits. What I'll do is I'll put just over like that. Okay. And we'll get a little bit of my salsa. And you can see there, just giving it a wee mix. All the spring onion, chilies nicely finely cut. Put that on this corner of the bread. Don't cover things up, right? Folk make really good food and they just batter stuff all over the top of it. Let people see what you've made, okay? When you're cooking. Think about all the textures as well. Sorry, I got a wee bit deep there. I'll start talking nonsense again to get everybody back on side. Okay, yogurt dressing. Just a couple of little drops on there. Okay, and again, that can be something like a really posh sandwich or just taken to the extent just like this, plated up really simply and casually. So there's one dish. What we'll do, okay, okay, we'll put the other bit in there as well. Okay, so just so everybody can get a wee taste of it, I'll save that for later. And put that over there. Right, chicken's ticking over nicely. What we're going to do now is we're going to get a little pan. When the halloumi comes off, I'll do the seabass. I'll take that to a finish with spicy green salad and the dressing. Okay? So, chicken, just have a wee look at now. Starting to take on some colour now. I can feel that the chicken's almost cooked. Okay? So I can let that tick away just in the low heat there, and that'll be fine. Okay. We've got our curls there. I'm going to get them out. Just put them in a wee, drain them in the water. So okay. Last wee bit of halloumi. We shimmy down. And we'll start cooking off the sea bass. Okay. So, we're going to crack on with the sea bass now. So get a pan on, moderate to high heat. Okay? When people cook fish, the biggest thing they do is shake the pan. Right? They shake the pan, it starts to break up. Okay, that's the halloumi in there for everybody to try a bit later on. We've got the sea bass. Now, what's really important here, what I like to do, I'm not saying it's the perfect way and I'm not saying it's the right way, but what I like to do as a chef, is I like to take sea bass. I like to put it in on a tray. I like to take it out of the fridge, good 5-10 minutes before I use it. Salt the skin. It helps draw the moisture out of it, and you get a better chance of getting it crispy. And I like to put oil on my fish instead of the pan. Okay? Because I think if you put oil in the pan, you sometimes tend to put too much in. And what it does is it just stews. It just stews it because there's too much oil in the pan. Okay, so give it a wee rub. And when that's in the pan, how do you stop? One, you go downstairs and buy Le Creuset, a nice non-stick pan. I just needed a wee ting there for that to be perfect. Yes, without joking, it's all about the pan. It's all about getting a good pan. If you're really worried, bit of flour on your skin, bit of flour dusting on it, but it is all about the pan. Okay? This is where it sticks now and I look like an idiot. Okay.
So many people heat saucepans too much.
They get it smoking too much.
They want to do it quickly.
Yeah.
They tend to turn the heat up, and in actual fact, they're damaging the saucepan, and in actual fact, they're damaging the food.
Like my granny always used to say, you get what you pay for. If you go and buy a £5 saucepan for wherever, it's not going to work for you. If you go and invest in a decent pan, you look after it, it's going to be fine. Okay, so moderate high heat.
A lot of saucepans now come with lifetime guarantees. The lifetime of a saucepan, it's not the lifetime of the person that owns it. So you're not going to get a good 80, 90 years out of a saucepan, but no, it's generally, when they say lifetime guarantee, it's the expected life. So you're looking at 20, 25 years, something like that. In actual fact, the Creuset, I've done some work for them, and they used to, I can't remember actually whether they still give a lifetime guarantee, but they really do, kind of stick by it. It is well worth investing in decent saucepans and frying pans. It really is.
Okay. Salad. Always season your salad, right? The amount of people that don't... See, the other thing that a lot of people don't do, see when they cook their pasta? You cook your pasta, your spaghetti bolognese, right? You cook your pasta. You spend all the time in your bolognese. You cook your pasta, you drain it, and you batter it on your plate, right? Season it, get a bit of salt and pepper in there, get some olive oil in there, get some flavours going in there. Don't worry, I'm not shouting at you, young man. Okay, you've looked a wee bit worried there. Right, if you see the sea bass, it's starting to pop up, okay? And when I lifted it there, it didn't stick, so I'm fine. I know it's going to work. All I do is push it down a little bit, okay? And I'm going to cook that for 90% of the time on the skin, okay? My spicy salad, I'll put some salt and pepper and the lime dressing in there, okay? I'm going to give it a little mix. And that's just going to take the raw edge out of it. I'm just going to break it all up. Everything's nice and finely cut, so it's making it easy for myself. It's going to cook. Okay? I'll get a plate. And I'll put my salad. Again, see that plate there? When you're building a plate, don't fill it, okay? Just try and use the center so you're showcasing the plate as well as the food. It's wee things like that that make a massive difference. Give it a little bit of height.
He's doing that with such passion, isn't he? The way that you're just putting it on the plate.
Okay. And that's as simple as a red onion, a carrot, and a bit of mange too, and some rocket, okay? But again, Nita's right there. Just, you're getting it at what you put out. So, sea bass is ticking over. I've got my curls to go on. What I'll do now is I'll go into my couscous.
So all the water has been
absorbed. Yeah. So that's it.
So there isn't such a thing as a couscous saucepan?
Well, not that I know of, but...
I'd never come across one.
No, but somebody will probably invent one.
It was a Middle Eastern lady that asked me.
Is it maybe a tagine?
No, I asked whether it was a tagine.
Right.
Oh, I see. So it's like a bain-marie type of... Right.
Okay. Couscous is made. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some other flavours to it. It's got a nice flavour at the moment, but it's just chicken stock, butter, and the raisins, salt and pepper. I'm going to add some pine nuts into it. Again, for another texture. You could, if you wanted to, toast them off. I've got some of my harissa. I'm going to add a wee drop of that in. Okay? And some of my ingredients, spring onions, I've not used them much today, so I'm going to put them in here, okay? Again, nice and finely shred. Okay? Shred them up. Put them in. And again, do that when it's cooked. If I do that at the start, put the spring onions in, or the heat of the water is just going to kill it, and they're going to go brown, they're going to go lifeless, they're going to lose all their texture and flavour. Okay, I've got one more thing to add to that, is my curry dressing. So if you think about that, okay, you've got couscous, raisins, chicken stock, butter, salt, pepper, spring onions, harissa, pine nuts, ginger, garlic, olive oil, Dijon mustard. You've got all those 10, 11,
Not
12
much,
flavours going
Not
into it.
much, yeah.
Not much, not much. Okay, seabass is just about there. I'm going to give that one last wee blast. I'm going to give this a blast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of spoonfuls of this in. I want to keep this subtle. Okay. Mix it through, and again, if I put too much dressing in there, it'll want to go gloopy. Okay. I'm going to take my couscous. With couscous, don't be tempted to do what they do with rice and pack it into a mould. It should be a loose, free product when it's cooked. Okay? So, don't be tempted. Just. And we've got beautiful colours going on there, flavours. Somebody coming up to that and see that will know that it's not just plain couscous. Okay? If they were from Dunfermline, they might think that was tomato ketchup. Okay? Because that's Dunfermline people. Seabass. Just turning it over the last wee second. Okay? Now, what a lot of people don't do as well is fish. You should rest fish. Same as meat, but obviously not the same amount of time. Okay? So I've turned the heat off in that pan, and I'm going to let that sit, and the residual heat will finish that. Chicken. We've got some beautiful colour going on the chicken now. It's nicely cooked. I'm going to give it one last blast. I'll plate up the sea bass. I'll give this a really high heat now, just to colour it up a wee bit more. Okay? Now, just before I finish plating up, I was round at my sister's house the other night, and my sister's got a wee boy, Hamish. He's only about 2, and he's quite clever, and he's doing a lot of speaking. And he was saying to me, I was telling him I was going away on Saturday to Kilmalcolm to do a bit of cooking. And he was like, he says, will they clap, Eadie? I says, well, I don't know, it just depends on what I do. So when I finish plating up here, it's not for me, ladies and gentlemen, it's just for my wee nephew, right? Okay? Just to make him feel better. 2 bits of sea bass on there. Bit of spring onion curl. Bit of chicken leg. Just a little bit of the curry dressing round there. That's my 3 dishes. Thank you very much.